Funny. Thomas Prunier.
It's okay, you can out me. I'm a Trekkie. I don't care if people know about it.
Star Wars, woo!
Yeah, Star Wars too. Star Wars works. I like Star Wars. I like that whole Darth Vader gig that you don't know what they look like, but they're still telling you what to do. Sorry, that's about as dark as I get. No, actually, one of the things I was thinking about the other day, I was like, I got to come up with 10 minutes, and I've done stand-up one time, and so I was thinking, I'll just give some advice. Advice to keep you from taking home somebody that is less than your natural standard just because you're drunk. Things that you can look out for so you don't take home somebody ugly and have a coyote ugly moment. One of the things is if immediately after they meet you, they are constantly taking pictures like this. Like, I gotta show my friends, come here. You have a Facebook invite before you get to the car. And like, last but not least, instead of moaning in bed, they keep saying thank you. That's when you know you gotta watch out. No, but I was really pissed off the other day because I saw this news ad that was saying that they're now taking the word gay out of deck the halls in schools. So they have to sing, "Don we now our bright apparel." And they're like, well, we just gotta protect our children because being gay is unnatural. And I'm like, really, it's unnatural? Have you ever seen a young gay child? Let's paint this picture. You've got a small, young, precious little 19-year-old boy, not hurting anybody, let's call him Twinkles. And his dad's like, if you're gonna fucking love me and you're gonna be in this family, then you go have sex with her right now. And Twinkles, I guess it's stuck in here. Uh-oh. It's okay, I'm working on it. So Twinkles is sitting there going, are you sure that's sanitary? It looks mad. Son, get in there. I have a promise ring. I promise never to do that, ever. Now, son, you gotta get in there and that's what you gotta do. That's not natural. But anyway, or funny. So, apparently y'all don't know anybody named Twinkles. I know for several of them that I try to avoid. But no, on top of that, so being gay is a very enlightening experience. I was young and my mom decided that she was going to take me skydiving. She's like, I'll pay for it. And I was like, okay. Because my mother's the type of person that shushes people in karaoke bars. So we fly down to Florida and we're going to go skydiving and she's going to do it with me. She's all gung-hung about it. This is about seize the day, enjoy life. So we go to sign up for it and you have to sign this waiver form that's like 4 pages of you won't sue and you won't sue if the thing doesn't open and your family won't sue and your cousin won't sue and nobody will sue. And my mother at the end of it's like, I can't sign that waiver form. So just go jump, you'll have fun. So I'm like, okay, I'll go skydive by myself. And so you go in there and they give you this class. It's a class you gotta take before you can skydive. It's very, very important before you can stand up jump. So I'm like, all right, I'm paying attention, I'm ready, I've had my coffee, I'm ready to go, I'm gonna skydive, I'm gonna go to this class and I'm gonna learn. And I get in this class and the guy goes, when you jump out of the plane, do this. All right, suit up. I was like, I'm jumping out of a plane and that's all you got? He's like, oh yeah, don't look down. So we get up and you tandem jump, so they like hook you to somebody else, and the guy they hooked me to was like 50 and gay and really liked me because I could feel it. And you have to sit in the plane and sit very close to one another, and it was very uncomfortable, and so I'm like trying to make conversation while I'm like hooked to him with like these mountain climber hooks, and I'm like, yeah, I'm very excited about it. Glad you are too. So immediately, like, we get up in the air, and I'm attached to this guy, and they go, don't look down, but they have, the opening to the plane only goes about this high. So you have to, like, they raise the door up, and they're like, now don't look down, but the first thing you do is, like, and so the guy behind me is like, just jump, you're gonna love it. And I was like, you know what, there's a whole lot of space, I could die, and kind of like my life, and I haven't met Celine Dion yet, and there's a lot of stuff that I really want to do. I mean, I haven't even seen the last episode of Charmed. And so, like, you start thinking about what's important. And so he just pushes me out, and we start falling. If you ever want to know what it feels like to skydive, go drive a convertible 200 miles an hour down the interstate and just stand up. It is the most painful, like mask seething into your face, and the tears are just pushing back, and like it's just, and then they rip the ripcord. Of course, you're in a harness. It's like right here, so I was black and blue, and my nuts were in my freaking nose, and so they pull it, and I look up after. I'm like, okay, it's okay. And there is a ginormous rainbow parachute. And then the feeling is in my back again. And I was like, I'm so glad my mother paid $200 to watch this. And then I started thinking about my life insurance policy and that she was the beneficiary. And she was remodeling her house. But anyway, like we land, it was awesome, it was a great experience, but I would never do it again, especially attached to somebody that I didn't want to be attached to. But another story that's very interesting for me is I was in, there's no other way to color code this or sugarcoat it, I was in full drag. And the reason's not fucking important, just know that I was in drag. And so, I'm driving a Ford Ranger pickup, because I'm a badass. And, you know, you gotta like, fuck yeah, man. So, I'm driving my Ford Ranger, I'm in a full evening gown, I look phenomenal. And I'm all excited, and I'm driving, and I'm getting on the interstate, blue lights come up from behind, and I'm immediately like, oh shit. It was the scariest thing that ever happened to me, except for the time that I was in drag and stopped and couldn't figure out which bathroom to go into. Because I didn't want to get killed. And so I pull over and like I'm just kind of like, and he comes up to the window and he's like, let me see your license, registration, proof of insurance. I'm like, okay, and I realize now that I have to reach into my purse to pull out my wallet to give him my driver's license. So I do that and I look up at him and I'm like, and he goes, oh shit. And he was like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I'm just like, that's what the girls do, right? And he's like, you were speeding. He's like, why were you speeding? And I took every bit of self-confidence that I had and humility, and I looked him right in his face, and I said, dude, my girlfriend put me in this shit. I'm just trying to get home. I still went to this party, she went as me, fucking went as her, and I just, dude, I've got to get home. And he was like, dude, just get home, man. That's fucked up. Just go, get it. And I got in that car, I got in my Ford Ranger, and I was like, ooh, cruise control. Because I knew that Crown Victoria was gonna like follow me, because you know if you had a fetish, because you know how cops are, there's always something that turns them on that shouldn't. So, unless there's any cops here, I think you're wonderful, and I haven't been drinking. But, I don't know, they got the power to send you to jail. I've been to jail in Murray County, it's not fun. I told that story last week, but by God, it was traumatizing. I went through and I got pulled over in Murray County, going 5 freaking miles over the speed limit because of an error in their computers said I had a suspended license, which I don't. And so he's like, well, you didn't pay a fine, so you gotta go to jail. Actually, no, he lied to me. Let me take that back. Let's step back a bit. I'm sitting in the car and he goes, son, I'm just gonna give you a warning, just step out of the vehicle and I'll have you sign this form. And I was like, okay, great. So I get out of the car. And he's like, put your hands on the vehicle. And I was like, how am I going to sign it? And he was like, all right, put your hands on the vehicle and spread them. I was like, I've seen this movie. So he's like patting me down and everything. He goes, son, is there anything in your pockets that'll stick me? And I was like, you keep on. It's been a long, hard month. And I'm working at the Hollywood Video. I ain't getting no play. It's before Craigslist. So I get taken to jail at 4 o'clock in the morning in Murray County and get set up there. And the lady at the front desk looks like she's got this red beehive thing going on, and she kind of looks like the lady from Aaron Brockovich that she called Krispy Kreme. And so I'm sitting there and she's like, all right, honey, we're gonna have to really like take you and we're gonna put you in a holding cell, and I know you're really nervous, and do you like my hair? I was like, your hair's fantastic. So we walk to the holding cell, and the guy in the holding cell is like cracked out of his frickin' mind, and he's doing like one of these numbers.